Mexico about getting the topo map PDF file. Did you ever get one for your area?
I did.
Okay, take a look at this. I think I emailed back PDF maps. But here's
This one? This is a geologic map.
well, yeah.
Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah.
But you should, if it's in a PDF file, well, then you can, you can take a look at this, not any information you want, but that this is how you could use it for mapping your property or measuring or, you know. And when you go on, see, you got the pointer right where you are. See, so you can say, okay, I wanna
Morning.
measure this.
How are you?
And put it onto a digital.
Yeah.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi, Sandy.
So
this is the how-to.
Yeah, the detailed how to.
Okay.
One of the guys up there was really into it.
Got behind the slow poke and then got in front of the state patrol.
Can I hang on this?
Yeah, for a little, yeah, yeah. Right. I didn't know, I went on and I couldn't find
Nice.
the map that I was looking, free, was that free?
This is from the DNRs.
DNR stuff?
Yeah,
And it's the PDF file?
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So let me see if I can find, shows that.
Morning.
Good morning. How's everybody doing?
See this one,
Well, it's nice and warm in here. We're out of the
It
cold.
is. I know.
Somebody was saying something about snow. Sweet. I hope that's-
Oh, they're
Flurries tomorrow, maybe.
Really?
They're teasing us with that.
That's exciting. Get out your phones and check the forecast.
That maybe it's up in Bellingham or something.
Maybe I should have charged my phone while I was in the car.
Well, we'll see.
PDF.
It's definitely been cold enough
Yeah.
lately.
The state.
yeah,
So,
and they have it, you know, quadrangle by quadrangle.
I have a question.
So we are,
go for it.
and these are
I
things
saw
are
situation,
amazing.
Sure.
I'll tell you.
Well, see, you could go in using PDF, you could type map your area and everything. I think that maybe create a new map with the overlay or the layer. Could be really-
Essentially what it is going to Texas to
And
visit.
this is a free, this event
Yes.
is a free thing.
And
Yeah,
I want my grandkids
Okay, kids.
to have one of these.
See, what I do, I
their house.
download, right here gives me
Okay.
PDF map.
Found it
So I download it onto my
on
app,
Lowe's
put it up there and then I
website.
know where,
Okay.
Now it's gonna
where I am
go
on
in
the
order,
route,
you know,
make sure I get the right road.
um,
And actually you get inside the.
It's at,
pinpoint.
so I went to transfer.
Okay, I'll be here this time.
I think I've still got it on here.
Where am
Well,
I want to send
You're
the
gonna-
link to
we all
them,
look the same.
to her in an email, and I don't know how to do that.
Okay.
The
There
actual
should be.
picture.
Yeah.
Cause I know it's pretty easy, but I don't know.
What's that thing?
To send a.
So that they can purchase it.
Yes, there. Go and pick it up. I'll show her.
What's up?
This is on.
I see we got a notice that we're 75% of our data usage, so don't go overboard on video.
You.
Yeah, I went
Must be
into
you.
hospital. What the
You.
You're the one that's always on the phone.
They took on $750.
Like this, Sandy?
Should I don't have one?
It was
Let me just get it.
25 a month for 30 months. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought maybe you got a better deal. Apparently, that's the
No.
old rate.
Okay.
Is this it?
You getting Wi-Fi?
It's the rubber ones, yep, PDF, yep, no, it's $11. $11.99.
What did you buy?
Just, is that,
A stool?
yeah. I found, I want my kids to buy a stool for
For you?
me
Let's
in Texas, for Daniel and I found
So
it
when are you going there?
in December. Here, see if I've still got it up here. Here it is, here, mine's come up now.
Okay.
Almost. Here it is.
So we're discussing the way in which you can share a link with somebody. It looks exactly the same, but yours is $3 cheaper.
And it's the right dimensions.
Dimensions, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I don't know how you did it, Sandy, but you got a better deal than I did on the same website.
It's special.
Man,
That's it.
man. I don't know how you do these things.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How does that happen?
I don't, no idea. No idea.
Compare notes.
5 reviews.
I think that's what the-
Item number 63073. 63073. Sandy.
Different
man.
store?
I don't. Well, she doesn't have a store set, so I wonder if this is labeled for in-store pickup. Sometimes when you buy them in
Well, then there's
stores,
tax and
Yeah.
delivery sometimes too.
yeah. So
You know.
Oh, yeah. So I wanted it delivered to the store. I had started.
you want it delivered to the store? Or you want them to?
What, so they could, it's at certain stores in
Right.
Texas.
Okay.
And so I want them to put it aside and have them be able to pick it up so I don't have the shipping.
Right.
Okay. So this was pretty easy.
Yep. So you click on the free store pickup.
Isn't that interesting that yours is,
Don't complain. Maybe it's because yours is in Texas and mine's in Olympia, Washington.
that could-
Taxes and fees and things might be different. I don't know, because it's the exact same item number, so there's nothing different about it. So yeah, just click store pickup,
okay.
and then is that the store you want? Is that the one, Lowe's of Baybrook, Texas?
Oh,
If it's not, then you click on check
yeah, yeah.
other stores.
I'm gonna have to, no, there's a lot of other stores, so maybe you can just tell me how.
Yeah, close this, or it just cuts down the ground.
Yeah.
So yeah, you would click on check other stores, you'd pick the right store, and then you go through the checkout process.
Baybrook, this is.
Yeah.
City one, yeah, available now, 5. Okay.
AR.
Because the one in Pearland didn't have any. See, this
Right.
shows how
Yeah.
many-
Yeah, it tells you how many.
how many miles it is. Yeah, so it's like, okay, so that's the right one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then you just go add to cart.
Okay.
Have one that comes on the deck.
Okay,
Oh,
And the kid that's doing the.
And then
big
click
year,
checkout.
Mason County big year, he didn't have pheasant. So they had this pheasant coming in the future. So
No,
he
Start secure checkout.
Pheasant, so he handed that to him. Ebert went crazy, said that's not a wild pheasant, that's a released pheasant.
And then
Might be one.
you should probably just want to do guest checkout.
Oh,
So
is that
just
right?
click on
He
guest
made 2
checkout.
cocks and a hen, and the other cock, I think. Oh, this guy was crawling and stuff this morning.
And then you'll have
I
to
saw something
enter in
There was a
all of that
cat
information.
in the
Okay.
store.
Yep, and then it'll be available in store,
Yeah, it's
and
And he just.
Okay.
or you can have them do it, or you can have them go to the store and pick it up.
okay, but say if I want to just send her the link of the,
Okay.
of the stool.
He knew that
So
he
we're
was
gonna
gonna-
go back a couple pages.
But it wasn't a standoff or anything.
So
it was
go
just
back.
Kind of like a friendly hello, hi. neighbor.
Because he's over by them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
That
good to
was
see him.
interesting what happened.
Right away.
Yeah.
We were
So just click
thinking
cancel or exit.
I wonder what they would eat.
Oh, crack.
There you go. Now right there is a button that says email.
Cheap,
See, it says Facebook,
Oh,
Pinterest, Twitter,
yeah.
Google Plus email.
Oh.
So click on that
Okay.
and then
What do you
fill out
guys
the
think?
form.
That's all I'm feeding now.
Okay.
You know, and.
Oh, so they would send that
Yep.
to me and then I could forward it.
No, well, no, you can just send it directly to them, to their
Oh.
email.
Okay, okay,
So,
Well, I call them grounders, though. They like.
So that's what you do.
small feed.
okay.
so this is helpful for anybody.
Okay, does it normally have that on the,
Some of them do. So you can share it on Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, Google Plus, or you can email it to someone. Or see this little.
how do I get back?
Oh, it opened up in a new window. Or this little square with the up arrow on it, right there in the
Oh,
corner.
yeah.
That's your share button.
Oh, okay.
And so you can just click on that,
Uh-huh.
and you can text it to them. You can email it to them.
Oh, that's great, because I want to send it by text.
Yeah.
Oh,
So then you
use
just.
that little button.
Yep, that's the share button.
Oh, when you bring it up. Oh, that is so
Yep.
simple. I
And
knew
then-
there would be a simple way of doing it.
And then the last way, and this is I think more for like laptops or desktops, you can just literally click on the link, copy it, open up your email, and then paste it in there. But we're talking about, and this is good for if you're trying to share gift ideas with somebody, and they, what do you want for Christmas? And all of our family lives out of state and different states, so we're probably going to be using a whole bunch of shipping for the holidays. And so on this Lowe's website, there's an email button where you can actually email them, and Lowe's will email this option to them. Or on the Mac or the iPad or the iPhone, it's got this little square box with the up arrow, which is the share button. And you can, different options for how to share it: Twitter, Facebook, messages, email. And then again, the last option is just copy and paste it into an email. And then they've got that. And you can, if you've got multiple, here's my Christmas list, instead of just listing it, you would list you can list the name of the item and then the link to it, and the name of the item and the link to it. Or you can do things like if you've done the research and you know all your things are on Amazon, for example, or Target, or wherever you like to shop, Bed Bath & Beyond. A lot of those have wish lists, and you can share the wish list with that person. And when you do that, they will get the email with your wish list, and then they can click on it, and then they can just, on that wish list, they just click on the item. It takes you to that page to buy that item for that person. And then typically, sometimes it's a little slow to respond, but typically it then marks that off. Kind of like if you buy something on a gift registry for a wedding or a baby shower, it'll tick it off. So then if you send the list out to multiple people, then it'll show one of one already purchased, or,
Wow.
Yep.
That is so much handier. Daniel's looking at cordless drills for our grandson. Oh, did you get the?
Yeah, I thought.
So.
Yeah, we ended up getting two at Amazon.
Brian, I
One for
sent
Daniel and one for
That's good.
the
a
grandson.
form from Works to my MacBook Pro,
Okay.
and I can't download it because I need a conversion program.
You say that again.
Okay, I sent a program from my Mac, from my IBM,
Okay.
and it's in Works, WPS, I think.
Yep.
WPS is the extension,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to download it in my MacBook Pro.
Okay.
How do we do that?
Well, I mean, you can easily just download it to your MacBook Pro, but opening it, I don't.
Oh, yeah, opening it is the question.
I honestly don't know off the top of my head.
Says there is no application set to open this document. Search the App Store for an app.
Yeah, you can try searching. Let's see here. You'll need to convert them, and then so this one person responded to someone who had, I'm assuming, a same or similar problem, and it says you'll need to convert them to either a doc, RTF, or .txt first. And
What
it's
did you
got-
Google it?
I did. Yep. I Googled .wps file on MacBook, and then it was the very first result that came up So, and it's hard because it's a very old
It's
file
all
format.
broken, Yeah.
So it's a lot harder to do that. So according to this forum, it says that you will have to convert. But anytime you do convert, there's always the possibility of,
Corruption.
well, not corruption, but things not, depending on how good the
Fonts.
program is, things might not,
Line up.
that might not line up, or formatting will be missing. Some words may not for some reason.
So if I
Translate,
Google
so to speak.
WSP file on MacBook Pro and kind of follow the directions.
Yep, follow those directions.
Hopefully.
Yeah. And if the first one isn't straightforward enough, there's thousands of results, so you can just pick one that looks like is the most user friendly for you. Yeah.
Just for everybody's information, we communicated with Adam Barr on there in Spain at the time. They've been on a cruise, but now they're in Spain. They'll be there a few more days. And then they said they'll be seeing us in a couple of weeks, so I don't know exactly.
Nice. Very nice.
So they're safe.
Good.
I'm sorry, you had a question for me. I had started.
Are there any other questions that people have about?
Oh, no. You answer.
Nothing?
Price.
All right.
Yeah, they're all the same. I went to Costco.
Let's see here.
Maybe a little-
So one of the things, I don't know, and this won't apply to Mac users, unfortunately, but I thought it'd be good to share the love with all Windows or all operating systems. Windows 10 got a huge update. You may not, well, but what they're doing is similar to what they did for when Windows 10 launched, which is they are kind of rolling it out based on when you installed Windows 10. So, for example, I did get mine at home on my old laptop that's still it's working, but it's still kind of a little, I don't know what the right word is. It's a little special right now. It's not acting right, but it got the update, and I got the Windows 10 update the day that Windows 10 came out. So you may not have it yet, but it's a huge update. In fact, when I did it, the installation process looked like when you first install Windows 10, where it says copying your files and it's got that big circle progress bar. It's going to do that, and it's a pretty big update. So do it when you don't need the computer for a long time. It does it all by itself, though. Windows 10, you had to click through things throughout, every so often. This is completely automated. So once you click restart, it'll just do the whole thing, but it takes a while. But they released a whole bunch of improvements, updates, squashed bugs, different things like that. So you may have it. You can go and, you click on your start menu bar, you click on settings, and then the one in the very bottom right corner is updates. And so you can check there to see if it's available and go ahead and start downloading it. And some of the things that, like I said, they squished a lot of bugs, and they don't really, unless you really want to look into that, they don't really tell you what all that stuff is, but they squished a lot of things that were, or got rid of a bunch of things that were potentially causing hiccups or slowdowns or things to crash or fail or any number of things like that. One of the things that they did is they brought the colored tiles back. I don't know if this was really important to you, but you could customize how your windows looked. So if you look here on the screen, they're blue. When Windows 10 came out, it's all just that kind of gray or off-white color. Whereas in Windows 8, you could customize. You could have blue or red or pink, and you can actually just click on the slider bar and kind of choose your color and make it as personal as you want. So they brought those back. Not a huge deal. The start menu, I think, got a little bit bigger, so you can fit more apps on there. It also is going to have, they say advertisements. I think Microsoft called them suggestions. So every so often you get these little suggestions for apps from the Microsoft Store or the Windows Store to download and install. But there's a way to turn that off. And so go ahead.
Question.
Yep.
Some of my tiles on my startup are big, or they're 2 tile wide.
Yeah, they're large.
Is that because I haven't filled in more tiles and then it all become narrow?
Yes and no.
My mail is too wide, it doesn't need to be.
Yeah. Thank you. One of the things that you can do is you can right click on them, Bill.
Okay,
And then there's a size option.
I see, yeah, it's wide now.
Yep. And so you can choose what size you want the tiles
I
to
should
be.
ask my M10.
That's what I do. I don't know.
Ask. Oh my goodness, I can't do like S's and X's today this morning. Ask your personal expert.
So what did you tell him about making it?
Well,
Oh, if so, you've got your tiles, and you've got your mail and your weather and your news tile. If you right click on each one, you can adjust the size of them.
Oh, okay.
So if you want, your mail tile to be obvious, you can make it large.
Sandy,
And
I right clicked on that one and it gives me the option to resize.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
No, that's-
wide or medium or small, you can
Mhm.
even make them smaller, Brian.
you can make them all you can make them all small so you can fit a whole bunch. Because obviously the bigger something is, the less you'll be able to fit on your viewing screen, especially laptops with the limited space that they have for viewing. But on there now, on the more traditional side, so you've got the tiles on the right side, and on the more traditional side, it's got your settings and all of those different, and all your programs. On that side now will be occasionally a suggested app for you to download based on the apps and programs that you use. But you can disable that. And so here's how you do it. So if you go to Settings, Personalization, Start and Disable, and then Start. So Settings, Personalization, Start, and then this one right here. Untick the occasionally show suggestions in Start. And that'll get rid of those suggested apps that may pop up. And for some people, it's not a problem, but other people, it's really annoying when.
That says, show occasional what?
Occasionally show suggestions in Start. It's right here. So they're just trying to get you to use the App Store more frequently by suggesting things like that. Now, so if you do have an Apple device, whether it's a phone, iPad, or even a laptop, or even the desktop, they've all got the Lost My iPhone, even though you can use it for any device. I think it's still called Lost My iPhone. Well, now Windows has that natively. You used to be able to download or buy other programs,
I'm gonna be.
but now they've got a native app in there. And so if you go into Settings,
I've got it on my phone.
Update and Security, there's the Find My Device.
Mhm.
And then you can turn on the option to save my device's location periodically.
You have to have the locate turned on, don't you? Here,
Yeah, you'll have to have location services turned on.
yeah.
We tend to turn that off because it eats up data, or, it's always searching if it's on.
Yeah. So anything like that, well, there's always going to be a potential downside. Yep.
You want to find your phone, you want to use your data. Take me out. Maybe later.
You wanna pay $10 in those charges, or you wanna buy a brand new $800 phone? So there's that. So now you can do the Find My Device, and that worked because Windows 10 is across all devices, phones, and tablets for obviously Windows products. That option will be on the phone and on the tablet and on the laptop and on the desktop. So if you own any other Windows devices besides a traditional computer, that's even better for people who use Windows phones and Windows tablets, like the Surface Pro. Edge is their new browser. The new E looks exactly like the Internet Explorer E, but now they call it Edge. So they have browser sync, which means that if you do have multiple devices, phone, tablet, laptop, desktop, or laptop to laptop signed in with the same account, your browser will sync across those devices. So for example, if I click on up here in the upper corner, show all tabs on my Safari. So obviously this is for a Mac, but this is basically what the new Edge is doing too. I can see the tabs open on my iPad and the tabs open on my iPhone, even though they're on, but they're closed right now. And I can click on any of those, and it'll bring it up on my laptop. So we can now pull up my FedEx tracking. So I'm tracking my shipment.
Microsoft.
So you
trying
can't
to
get an edge, aren't they?
It is. It left Kent this morning at 2:33 in the morning, and somehow it's not supposed to be here till Friday. I'm not mad.
You got a holiday. You got a holiday in the middle there.
Well, I know, but I don't know how it's going to take Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to go from Kent to, yeah. They have to send it to the post office.
Oh,
But so I don't know if that, anyway.
knowing our postman, that's what he's.
I'm really glad Becca doesn't watch these, because then she'd be really making fun of me right now. So on top of the browser sync, I told her about it yesterday twice, and she's like, Brian, just let it go. It'll show up, and it will. So on top of syncing your tabs or all of your open windows, you can now do tab preview, which is what's on this. Oops, wrong way. On the screen right here. So if you just hover over a tab, it'll bring up that little window and show you what that page looks like before you get there. So not a huge thing, but it's kind of
That's
kinda
with
nice.
the new update.
These are all with the new update. Yeah. Skype, they say, are now integrated, which I don't. Maybe they mean it's integrated in the operating system, not just installed. Because Microsoft owns Skype. They have for a couple of years now. So I think by integrating it means that it's now built into all the different systems of the operating system, not just an app. So if you use Skype and Sway, I don't know what Sway is, so I can't help you there. But they're now integrated in the operating system. Oh, it's an Office-style app. Microsoft describes as a way to create and share interactive reports, presentations, personal stories, and more. So more of a socialized, not socialized. That sounds like something different, but a social office. This is kind of cool. If this is a problem for people, or Bill, if you are looking at getting a device that has low storage, you can now choose to save programs, and so if you download apps from the App Store, you can now choose to save those to like a USB drive or an SD card or different things like that.
So the app would only be available when you plug in the drive?
Mm-hmm.
But if you have if you're, say you got a service, you got a mini.
Yeah.
A mini thumb drive or a
Yeah, well,
SD card.
I think it has a SD slot, and so
Yeah,
if you
it
buy a
does.
64 gig
Yeah,
SD card, you're almost based on, depending on what size Pro you got, you could almost double your hard drive space. It was.
Yeah.
yeah, I saw someplace on, like, it was a huge, SD card for $24 for 120 gigs or something.
128, yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So you could basically double your device's storage. Obviously, that won't work for an iPad or an iPhone because they don't have that external media options. But so that's nice. It's really nice that they did
I
that.
wonder how difficult it is to tether and untether. Because I might use it for storage, but then when I want to download my camera, I have to take out that.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have to go through a tether, untether
Yeah,
to do it safely,
potentially.
tethering them. Yeah, I think that's right term.
Start menu and context menus are more polished. You can have more than 512 apps installed. Start menu now supports more than 2,048 tiles. So basically, they've increased the capacity, and it is a lot, but there are people who download and download and download stuff. So
Question about app management and something
Yeah.
like that, where you have
Mhm.
520.
yeah,
You don't want them all running, otherwise they're sucking in
right.
energy. And I don't know whether, maybe it's my tab or something where I try to, you can kind of put it in the background. If you take it off your active file, does Windows 10 make it easier to
Well,
manage?
if the window is not, for most programs, if the window is not physically open, then the app is closed. So it's not using resources. As I showed before on a Mac, if you've got these little dots underneath, then those programs are still running, even though the window is not physically open. On the phone and the iPad, that's where you would double tap the home screen, and then you would see all those tiles and I know that Android devices do the same thing. I don't think it's a double tap of the home screen, but there is an option to pull up
There's a double,
the double bar, the double window thing.
Square.
Yeah.
You tap on that
Yep.
and see what's open.
Yeah, and then you close those, and that'll say battery. It'll free up your RAM, do a lot of stuff for you. But that's not really an issue. It's for Windows. It's only if they're physically open windows. So, if you have a touch device, then there will be more options available to you. I didn't read that section because I didn't have a touch device, and I didn't think anyone in here did.
I'm sorry, Pastor Brian. Christy Knott will not be able to pick up that orange furniture till next week.
Okay. Right. Cortana is better. So one of the things that I think when we first upgraded to Windows 10, a lot of I mean by people in this room, is that sign in with your Microsoft account. And I think for some people that wasn't working for whatever reason. And so we just didn't use Cortana. Well, now you don't have to. And so you can turn on Cortana and you can do the voice recognition so that she only answers to your voice, and you don't have to sign in with your Microsoft account or have a Microsoft account to do that. So that's really nice. And I think they've improved. They're constantly improving Cortana, so she'll probably work a lot better now. Windows will manage your default printer better. By default, Windows, whether you print from a printer that Okay. It's just the background screen. I don't know why this is a huge deal, but apparently it was. When you first log into Windows and you've got that screen that's just kind of it's a picture, but it doesn't, and I think it's got the time on it. And then you have to click that to then get to the lock screen.
Mhm.
You can now disable that.
Oh,
It's no longer mandatory.
that seemed like one extra step.
It is. It is.
Why
And
they did that, I don't know.
to make it look pretty when you come back to your.
Is that under settings or? how?
Yeah, settings, personalization, lock screen,
Okay.
and then disable the show Windows background picture. So you can turn that off. And it's one more step you have to go through, and a lot of things that Windows and Apple and Android is all about eliminating the steps you have to get to where you want to get. And so it seemed like a step backwards.
Pretty pictures, but
They were.
Yeah.
They are. I absolutely agree. So now there's an option to be able to turn that off so that you can just you shake your mouse and now you got the lock screen and you just type in your password.
my mouse.
Well, if your computer's asleep.
Oh, shaking your booty or what?
I don't think we'll get into that.
Not the same thing.
Not the same. No, if your computer's asleep, if you haven't been using it for a while and the monitor's off, some people click buttons on the keyboard, but sometimes that starts entering the password even though it's not really your password. If you just shake your mouse, then the screen wakes up and the computer wakes up from sleep mode. Yeah. And speaking of shaking your mouse, if you have installed the newest, the El Capitan for Mac users, there is an option in settings where if you can't find your mouse, you can you shake it, either if you've got an actual mouse or if you've got just the trackpad. It slowly gets bigger the more you shake it. So for some people, that's really good. I have it turned off because when you're playing games and you're moving your mouse back and forth really quick to do stuff, suddenly your mouse is gigantic.
The mouse makes the cursor.
Yes,
The
sorry,
cursor.
yes, the cursor. No, it wasn't in there. I think it's in, is it accessibility? Dang it, where did it go? I don't remember anymore. See if we can find it. It is an accessibility. Display. Oh, I wouldn't have guessed display. Accessibility display. Shake mouse pointer to locate. So you tick that on, and when you shake it, it's nice and big.
Well, just the pointer.
Yeah, just the pointer.
For Windows, basically, you can put a
A tail on it.
a tail, or it gets a big circle around it.
Mm-hmm.
The same
Yep.
thing,
Yep.
so that you can find it.
Yeah. So if you enable that on a laptop or a desktop for a Mac, then you can find your mouse better. So there you go. So that's it. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. Some of it's really good. Some of it's not quite as pertinent to your needs. But if you don't have the update, I'd look forward to.
How long did it take to install?
I want to say it took about an hour.
SD.
But again, downloading it. I think it took about an hour to install. Downloading it will depend on your internet speed at home.
And of course, make sure all the updates are done
Yes.
before you do it.
Yeah. Make sure everything else is updated and ready to go, and
Right.
basically shut everything else down before you start the update. Yeah, definitely.
Can we talk a little bit about the cloud?
We can talk about the cloud. Yep. What do you want to know, Bob?
Well, maybe just start with the primer again.
Okay. Choose a service. Dropbox, Box.net, Google Drive.
I think I got Dropbox. on it.
Yeah, you do have Dropbox. Yep. And so this is universal for everybody. So you can download Dropbox for free. I think almost everybody has it. I know Bob does. I know the Sleeps have it. You've got it. Sandy, do you have it or not? I don't remember. So you sign up for a free account for Dropbox. You get, I think it's 2.5 gigs for free. You take the tour, you can get like another 500 megabytes, and you do different things, and they give you more and more storage for free. Or you can just pay for a subscription and get large amounts of storage for a monthly cost. The way Dropbox works is, the way I describe it, and the reason why I like it so much is it acts like any other folder on your computer. So whether you can go to Documents, and you can start creating folders and documents, and you go to Dropbox and you just start creating folders in Dropbox. And then once you create something in Dropbox, then if you're connected to the internet, it'll automatically send a backup copy of it up to the cloud, which is why you see all these little green check marks in the bottom right corner of all of these folders.
So I should try to find where you are. You've got all these folders.
Yep, so you go to your Dropbox. I think I put it, so if you go to Finder, Bob, and you go to look on the left-hand side and find favorites, I think last week we put it there. We put it in your favorites, just for easy access.
I have a notice on mine saying introducing Gmail integration. Now you can attach Dropbox files directly from your email. Must be something new.
Yeah, and when
Maybe
you,
it's not new to you.
well, it's still pretty new. In fact, if I open in the new Word, and I think it's only the brand new Word, and it's not doing it for this because I just created this. But if I open up a document in Dropbox that is a Office program, I'll get a little Dropbox icon on the side of my Word document or PowerPoint, letting me know that I can quickly do anything with, like if I want to send it to someone via Dropbox, I can do all that right within Word. I don't have to go to my mail program or go to Dropbox's website or anything like that. So they've got, Dropbox is now integrated into the new Microsoft Word. So yeah, you just start saving folders and programs.
So I've got folders set up
Or
here.
not programs. Yeah.
And to put a product or to put something in that folder.
You can manually move something, or quite typically what I do is, so for example, here's the sign that I made for everyone this morning, and it's never been saved before, so I will save it. I will click on my little Dropbox icon on the left-hand side of my screen, and that works for Windows devices too. Now they've got that that right hand or that left hand side for Finder, which they've had for a while. It's not new in Windows 10, but they've had for a while. Then you can click on where, so we're going to go to those files, and then we are going to go to T4G, my Tech for God class, and then we're going to click Save. And now it's saved there. And so now it's, that's where it is. Now, oh, it just went away. But for a second there, it had a little blue icon with 2 little arrows going around, meaning it's sending that file up to the cloud. It already finished it. And now, since it is saved to Dropbox, that little icon I was telling you about is now right there.
Where?
Right here
Oh, okay.
on the side of the document. And I can click there and I can share the link. I can comment on it, which is kind of cool. So now I don't have to go to Dropbox. If this were a shared file, if I shared this with Bill, Bill could then comment on it. You know, you can collaborate is what it allows you to do more easily. So that's what that does. So that's how you save something new that's never been saved anywhere else. If I wanted to save this to Dropbox and it was saved, for example, in my documents, and this works for PC as well, exact same feature, you click Save As. And you can either rename the file if you've changed it. So each week when I do the bulletins, I just open up last week's and click Save As and rename it to the new week. And then, but on top of changing potentially the name of the file, you can also choose a new location to save it to. So you would click Dropbox, and then you would either find a folder, create a folder, or just save it to the
And how do I authorize people to get documents off of my Dropbox?
Excellent question. You would right-click on your. If you want to share a folder, right-click on the folder, and then and again, this works exactly the same way with a PC. You would right-click on the folder, and you would click Share this folder, which is my third option.
You share folders.
Share the link.
Share folder setting, or
We'll send them to a link on the internet from Dropbox, and then they can access it from there. Sharing and I think that only lets them.
well, now mine says share folder settings. Is that what I want?
No. If you look up on the screen, Bob, it just says share this folder.
You right-clicked?
Yep. So I click share this folder, and it's going to take me to the website because these features are built into the website. But by sharing a folder is what we've done in the past. I've done it with you, Bob, and I've done it with you, Bill, for that video. That allows us to both access that folder. And if we have the Dropbox program installed on our computers, then that folder will now show up as part of our folders in Dropbox.
Brian, mine says share Dropbox link, but it doesn't say anything about sharing Dropbox folder. I'm not on the same.
Are you on a folder?
Yes.
And is it in Dropbox?
Sandy, this would be a good way to share pictures between you and your.
Well, that's because you're not sharing a folder. That's a file.
Yeah. See, then they.
So if you click on this
it's easier than
folder,
emailing them, you know, because they.
now it will share the folder. If
Yeah.
if it's just an
They have to have
individual
copies.
file, like a picture or a movie or a
Granddaughter's-
Word document,
Put all
then
the
it'll
pictures
say
in
share
there.
this link.
Okay.
But if you want to share an entire folder and all of its contents, then you'd click on an actual folder.
Coming up, creating these scrapbooks, I'm sure I'm gonna have questions after the holidays, as to, you know, how to, some steps to proceed. So I'm not overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you can share the folder. So sharing the folder will allow it to be on both of our accounts. Again, as I think I mentioned this last week, it'll take up space on both of our accounts. So if it's a large folder with tons of data in it, it will count towards your maximum amount that Dropbox lets you have. But it also gives them access to everything inside of it. So if I were to share my work folder, for example, I have folders upon folders and files upon files. So if I shared this parent folder with someone, they would have access to everything underneath it. So
You wanna be cautious.
you want to make sure you're only sharing the exact folder you want.
So what if you just wanna share a document within that folder?
So this is my famous people game, Sandy's birthday. You would right click on just that file and then you would click share Dropbox link. And then when you email that link to that person, then they get just access to that file on Dropbox's website. So share this link and then you write a new email and write an email, then we can paste it. So there's the link, dropbox.com, with a whole bunch of gibberish, but it will take you to that file on my Dropbox account. But they only have access to it, and they can download it, but they can't modify. Well, if they download it on their computer, then they can modify it on their computer. But for example, if you share a folder, and this is kind of what's good about collaboration, but the other thing you have to be careful about is if I did share a folder and Bill, and let's say there's a spreadsheet in there, the good thing is Bill and I can edit that spreadsheet and it's always the same spreadsheet. We're not working with different versions. But the potentially bad thing is that Bill could change a whole bunch of numbers in there and maybe they're wrong. Or maybe he, I don't know,
So
deleted it. He got mad at me and he just deleted something out of there in spite. And so that's the risk. But then again, you can, I mentioned this last week, you can go to Dropbox's website and recover files up to, I think, 30 days old. Or you can even see version history. So if it's been saved and modified and you goofed up, then you can recover that older version of that same file. Yeah, Bob?
I'm going to share, and it says share link via cloud, then another menu comes up, mail, message, AirDrop, Twitter, Facebook, or LinkedIn. Shouldn't there be one for Dropbox, sir?
Let me see what you've got up on your screen. Well, but that's, you're using Pages sharing options. So you're opening Pages. So that's what Pages can do.
So what are you using then?
I'm in just the system of the Mac. So if I were to open this, then I've got
I don't understand the difference of what you're doing versus what I'm doing.
because the program has different capabilities and different options for sharing what you're using than what your operating system does. So if I were to open
But I can't open a document in any area other than through Pages in here.
well, but see, I'm not even here's where I think we're going on. I'm not even opening the document, Bob. I'm just, see the file is right there in Finder. I'm not opening it, I'm just right clicking on it. That's the
And
difference.
you found it in Finder.
Yep. Yeah, that's how you, which is the same as,
So I'm in Documents in Finder.
yep. Then you just would
And,
right click on,
Um,
but it would have to be in your Dropbox because otherwise you can't. I don't think you can. Maybe you can.
Can you delete from Dropbox?
Yeah, that was like a minute management thing. I have 100, just looking at my properties, my Dropbox, and I have a lot of files that were appropriate for Dropbox, but they're no longer should be in there. But if I delete them, I don't delete them out of my other history, my other documents? I want to delete them completely away from my memory or my.
Well, you can either move them out of Dropbox, and that would, so if you move them, you could move them off Dropbox and onto your physical hard drive to keep them. But if you want them just gone, then you just send them to the trash.
Well, I'm back opening it in Finder and I share, and it's got mail, message, AirDrop, and more.
That's because
storage.
it is not in your Dropbox.
No, but I wanna put it in.
So then you would, where is it?
Just pick that one.
Pick it up and drop it over into Dropbox. So you right click and hold, or sorry, left click and hold. And then drag it into Dropbox. Yep, right there. Yep.
So I've gotta put it in Dropbox.
Yes. Yeah, it has to be in Dropbox before you can use
Okay,
any
now I wanna
Dropboxes.
share. Do I go to Dropbox?
Yep. Then you would go to Dropbox and it should be in that parent folder.
That's not there.
So yeah, if you
How
wanna,
can you find out how much you have? I went into
Um,
properties, but.
you would click, do you have the little icon in your start menu? Click on that and then click on the little gear
Mhm.
and it should tell you.
Share the Dropbox link.
See if I want a picture.
Well, that's it. There's
So
lots of
then,
pictures.
when I go there, it would say,
Move out.
it would just,
Well, so
would it
you,
ask me who I wanna share it with?
so when I click on that, when I did the share Dropbox link, what it does, so you click on it and it looks like nothing, yeah, right click. And then, so right click on that file
In there.
and then click on share Dropbox link. It's gonna look like it does nothing, but what it's done
Safely move
is it's
out of there.
copied
So here's the
that file
trash.
to your clipboard. So then you can
Trash it.
go onto your
Well, I
email.
don't have to-
So if you go
I
into
don't want
email
to delete it completely off the computer. So that's the.
Ask him
and
if that
click
does.
compose new
Have a
email,
Dropbox in the
Ask him
back.
if it does.
just a little pen in the paper. And then if you click on the body of the email
See, got
and
a lot of duplicate type.
Command V is paste,
So, okay,
Command V is paste. So now there's the link to the file. And then you can email it to
I
somebody.
didn't know to pick up that file.
Because you told it to. That's what that shared Dropbox link was. You were telling it to copy the location of that file. And now you can share it with somebody.
So now I could send it to you and you could open it.
Yes. But I could only open that file. It's not. Yes. Yes, Dorina.
I'm in Dropbox.
Yep.
On this iPad
On the iPad, yeah.
and a photo,
Okay.
and it has the trash, and then that has a little thing with a down arrow. Is that count?
The down arrow, I believe, means that you could save it back to your computer or to your tablet. So you could save it to your camera roll,
Okay.
especially if it's a picture. If it's a picture or video, you would save it to your camera roll. And then you could delete it from Dropbox and then it'd be physically on your iPad and no longer in Dropbox.
If I push delete, then where does it go?
It just,
And is it gone?
it's gone.
It's gone out.
And it's gone from Dropbox, it's gone from the tablet. Yep. So if you want the picture, but you don't want it on Dropbox, you would save it to your iPad with the little down arrow. And then you would, then after you did that, you would delete it from Dropbox. Yeah.
Except I don't have that arrow on.
Question,
Well, for on a desktop Bill, you would just drag and drop it.
Into
Or
your documents.
yeah, or Control X is cut, and then Control V is paste. So you would cut it out of that file, remove it, and then you'd pick where you want to put it or folder, and then you would pick where you want to put it and paste it there. Yeah.
question on, back to this WPS conversion.
Okay.
Do I want to convert the file? I've got my old IBM. Do I want to make a conversion before I email it, or do I want to put a program in my old IBM for a file conversion? Or do I want to send that WPS to my MacBook Pro
Even has.
I
and
think it
then do a conversion?
I think it's easier to put it to your MacBook, especially if you do that search that I told you to do. That will be searching for programs that a Mac can convert, not a PC.
Okay, so the program, I would then find a program and download it into my Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I send, say via email, a WPS file,
Yep.
that program will permit me to convert it to.
Yep.
And what would you recommend that I convert it to?
If the program lets you do Well, but Word would work fine because Pages works in Word. So I'd just do a Word document, .doc. But the file formats that you would be interested would be a .doc, .rtf,
T.
RTF. R is in rooster, T is in tiger,
And
and
what
F
is-
is in flamingo.
That's good.
Rich text, RTF, rich text format, which is just, it's kind of a very basic,
So I would convert the
almost universal.
the works into the RTF file.
Yeah, or doc. It just depending on what it lets you do. Or you can even convert it to a .txt. Oh man, what's a X animal?
So then,
Tiger, X-ray
Pages
tiger.
can read any of those.
Can read any of those. The RTF and TXT files they're kind of formatless. They don't really provide formatting, but because they don't really have any specialized formatting, they're fairly universal to any Office program.
Well, maybe I ought to back up for a moment and tell you what I'm trying to do. I have hundreds of files, documents
Mhm.
in my
If you don't
old
mind though.
Windows XP.
Right.
I want to get them in here so I can begin to use them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm looking at this conversion.
Yeah.
Is there an easier way, perhaps, to put it on a disk or something?
Well, yeah. Instead of emailing it, if you don't already have, I'd buy a little thumbstick or jump
Right.
drive, whatever you want to call it.
And download all the
Download
files?
all of them to there, then plug it in the Mac. And I don't know, you might want to look at a couple different programs before you download one and see if there's one that does mass convert. So try to do it all at once rather than one by one for hundreds of files. And
But the best way to get them in here would be to put them on a thumb drive.
Yeah.
And it's gonna, that thumb drive.
or
is just-
SD card, yeah,
And that's gonna be in the WPS format
by default, yeah.
and go from there.
Yeah, all the thumb drive does is it's a means of transfer.
Of
It won't
moving,
of
yeah.
moving things. It
Yeah.
won't actually.
So then I
Do
need to
anything.
have the conversion program in here.
Yep. Yep.
Well, it sounds easy, but it's not gonna be.
Well, the basics of it, getting the thumb drive, copying the files, will be easy but time consuming. And then the converting process, if it works right, will be easy but time consuming. If it doesn't work right, then it'll be frustrating and time consuming. So, yeah. All right. Any last minute?
We're not meeting next Monday, right?
We're not. Does anybody have any 2-second questions?
I see in Dropbox, the easy way is, yeah, take them off there and drag them back into documents.
Yeah.
Or that's the easy way to do it.
Yeah.
Or pictures, you can move
Yep.
it into your.
You can, and if it's all the pictures, then you can just drag the entire folder over instead of one by one. Or, there's always your shortcuts. Control A is select all. Control X is cut, which means you're actually taking it out of. And then Control V is paste. If you just want to move but keep them in both locations, you would not do Control X, which is cut. You would do Control C, which is copy. And then copy and paste. So that will move but keep them in both locations. Whereas X will move and remove it from the original location and physically transfer them to the new location.
It appears that I have a lot of individual documents
Yeah,
and I should put them into a file,
I like it. Yeah,
into a folder.
into a folder. For the most part, in my Dropbox. So in my Dropbox, this is my parent Dropbox folder. I've got everything is in folders. And
Okay, I
then
don't-
Pastor Brian, in my work files, there's only 3 that aren't in folders. Everything else is then in its own folder. And
there's
then
new folders, so I can create folders.
Yep.
And probably drag it
folder
in.
and folder into folder.
That'll
So then
make
here's
it
my
neater.
here's worship, and here's all the folders for worship. Bulletins. Within bulletins, I've got 4 folders. And then finally you go to Sundays, and now you've got my actual bulletins for Sundays. And then I've got bulletins for funerals and bulletins for special services and for weddings. So I am really bad at physically keeping my office clean, but on my computer,
You're very
I try to stay extremely organized. So, yeah. All right.
Yeah, that works good.
Thank
Now
you.
I just created a folder, now I'm moving all my
Yeah.
Word documents there.
Yeah.